Last September I cycled coast to coast, through the Lake District, over the Grampians. It was an amazing thing to do, 135 miles in 2 days. But along the way there were often sections of road which felt quite dangerous as cars zoomed past. So obviously I wore my helmet to give me that sense of protection. It was a sensible thing to do. Often we're very obsessed in the UK about health and safety, about minimising danger and risk. But what if we were to fill in a risk assessment form for following Jesus? In Luke 7, John the Baptist's disciples come to Jesus asking if he is the one they are waiting for. In chapter 8, the disciples ask, "Who is this man that even the wind and the waves obey him?" Then in chapter 9, even King Herod is puzzled as to who Jesus is. In chapter 9, verse 21, Jesus affirms his identity as the Messiah, God's anointed one. But as Jesus makes this confession, there is still confusion. Jesus isn't behaving how people expect the Messiah to behave. Rather than overthrowing the Roman occupiers, he's been healing their servants. And then he welcomes Levi, a tax collector working for the Romans. He's welcomed him to become a disciple. Rather than siding with the religious elite, Jesus has challenged them time and time again. Jesus is a controversial figure. He's almost been lynched in his hometown. And then here comes the most stunning revelation. Jesus says that he must suffer and die. This is not what his followers expect from the Messiah. They're confused by it. And then Jesus turns to them and says, "If you want to be my disciples, you must deny yourself, pick up your cross, and follow me." Deny yourself and pick up your cross. Choosing to follow Jesus is difficult. I think sometimes we've trivialized things, but we are called to deny ourselves, to put God first. Choosing to follow Jesus is dangerous. Jesus called his disciples to pick up their cross. This is a challenging thing to say. The disciples wouldn't have understood what he was talking about when he refers to the cross. I mean, this was a shameful and disgraceful way to die at the hand of the Roman occupiers. And yet Jesus tells them to pick up their cross. They are called to a life of hardship. Sometimes we've made Christianity too safe. We've made it a risk-free life enhancement program, rather than the dangerous and risky thing it is to see his kingdom come and his will being done. I've met Christians from around the world who are living out this dangerous, this difficult kind of faith. And it sometimes challenges me. Do I really deny myself and pick up my cross? You see, sometimes I think the church in the West is too fearful. We're afraid to speak out and to live out what we really believe. Fear is ultimately perceived future suffering. And it's that fear, that inability to deny ourselves and pick up our cross, that means we fail to see his will being done. I challenge you, as I challenge myself, to make ourselves more vulnerable for Jesus, that we would live out this difficult and dangerous faith.